hello. Happy, beautiful Monday. This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach and heart work practitioner. I'm so excited about being here with you today and just excited about everything that is happening for all of us who are open and willing and ready for what God is doing in our lives, right? So, here at Heart Coach Talk, we grow heart equity. And we define that as personal, relational, and financial wealth that is obtained through authentic living. Authentic living is living a life that is based off of your purpose, your creativity, your faith, and the action that you put behind that. And when you're living an authentic life, then you can live a fulfilled life. When you're living an authentic life, you can be at peace even when everything isn't all good in your life, right? So I just want to encourage you, wherever you are on this beautiful Monday morning, to humble yourselves. Hi, LJ. How are you? I just want to encourage you to humble yourself under the idea of how great that you are. I want you to really sit with the fact that your creativity was put on this earth for a reason. Right? You are so welcome. Thank you for being here. Do me a favor, like this video and share it with anyone that you think could benefit from it. Okay. Now, I want you to understand that a lot of the challenges that you face in your life are a direct result of the solutions that you've been created to bring in those lives as well, right? A lot of the hurt and pain that you go through, it's just God priming you, sharpening you to be able to help and support those others who are in a tough and challenging situation. And a lot of times, as you focus on doing that, God will work things out for you in your life, and He'll make things happen for you in your life. And I just wanted to get on today because I've been going through some very, very challenging times in my life since my mom died. And I thought, like I said, I talked to you guys about this at the top of the year, about how the storm after the storm, right? I talked to you guys about how I thought the death of my mother was one thing, but it's just the way my life has gone as a result of it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know where y'all are coming in from. So, as a result of going through this very challenging time, the old me would have been very critical, very negative towards myself. The old me would have wanted to blame other people and be angry with other people because my life isn't working out the way that I think it should or the way that I had planned or anticipated working, right? I do have my seatbelt on, by the way, just to let you know. Thank you for the encouragement. Yes, Lori, we absolutely must talk soon. So, I think that one of the reasons why I had to go through this challenge in my life is because so many of us try to act like our lives are perfect. You try to act like you're impenetrable. Okay. Thank you. You have a good day as well. Um, a lot of us want to present like we're perfect. Let's just be honest. A lot of us want to show up in a place and just look the part, sound the part, have the part, get the part, play the part, all the things, right? But the truth of the matter is, life does not work like that. Many of us are catching hell in our lives. People have, if you have children, if you have a toddler, or if you have a teenager, they're dang near the same thing. When you talk about, taking care of them and having to attend to them and have to deal with temper tantrums and emotions, if you're in a relationship, if you have a significant other or siblings or family members that you interact with, you are dealing with challenges every day. I just found out yesterday that one of my mom's first cousins died. And that made me sad because I remember growing up with him. I remember how much he loved my grandmother. He loved his Aunt Addie. And I also found out one of my classmates' father died, and I got to check in on them. We're getting ready for one of my aunt's funeral, and it's everybody's going through something, right? And it doesn't mean that we're supposed to be insensitive and not be empathetic. No, we should be, but we also, when we understand that everybody is going through something, it is an encouragement to not give up no matter where you are in your life. Thank you, Lori. And you have my sympathy. Um because you know what it feels like. You lost your mom, and I'm still praying for you and your family as well. And it's just, I just told somebody, I said, it's almost like a club. Ever since I lost my mom, it's like people with their mama and people without their mama. And let me tell you something. Boy, I tell you, being without your mama, um, I was having a conversation and I said, you feel this instant, there's this instant feeling of I am in this world alone. Like the love that my mother felt. When my grandmother died, I felt an emptiness and a loss, but it was nothing like when I lost my mom. And I know she's, in a better place and she's with me in spirit, all that. I don't want to hear that. I want to talk to my mama. I want to see her. I want to feel her. I want to get in the bed with her and lay down and put my cold feet on her leg and her fuss about it. That I miss that, right? But I also can't stop there. I couldn't quit there. I remember when mommy died and so many people came and brought their condolences, and everybody kept saying, oh my God, this is going to be such an amazing book. When you write this book is going to be amazing, because of what you and your mom went through. Because if you know me and my mama, you hear me talking about, oh, I love my mom, I miss my mama. But man, oh man, if my mom had passed 5 or 6 years earlier, I don't know if my conversation would have been the same. And that's another reason why I am very intentional about doing this hard work. That's another reason why I get on here and go live. Like tomorrow night, y'all do me a favor, set your timer, set your calendars. We'll have Heart Talk live here on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to get in the room and have conversation with me, I would love that. You can go to my website, adelaibrown.com, or check out the linktree backslash the heart connections, and you get the Zoom link sent directly to your email. So if you want to get in or we have conversation, real talk, I would love to have you there. But we're staying in this vein of understanding our worth and our identity, and how important we are to God and to the kingdom, right? It is very imperative that we understand that importance. And like, if my mom had passed away in 2018 or 2019, we were on the mend, but we hadn't become besties. Lori, you remember that 2018 when we were on the radio and my mom would come in there with her low attitude and stuff like that. You remember that? It was a time. That's why you became my work mama. And I realized, I know this is off on a tangent, but we do hard work. I realized that all through my life, I found people to nurture me. I was attracted to people who nurture me, um, and loved on me like a mother, like a sister, like an auntie, whether it was my biological family member or not. And as I started doing hard work, I realized, as I started overcoming, the idea of being a people pleaser and things like that, I realized that, a lot of that I did, not saying our relationship wasn't genuine, Lori, but I just realized that a lot of times I gravitated to motherly figures, sisterly figures, because I so wanted that, and I didn't feel that connection with my mom. I didn't always feel that connection with my aunts or with my cousins, like immediate, no slight to them. That's just where we were. Um, and so I sought out other relationships, but I also see it as God put those relationships in my life to protect me, to cover me, to keep me, right? And so I just want to encourage you to just do a inventory of your life. Some people in our lives, you love them and you care about them, but just make sure that you're not putting an unfair burden, an unnecessary burden on them. Sometimes we have expectations of people because we want more from them than they're giving, maybe than they want to give, or maybe they don't even know we have that expectation of them, but there's this other deficiency that's going on on the inside of us, that it's almost like a moth to a flame, right? It's an attraction. Not saying those relationships aren't sincere, but I feel like a relationship can thrive even more when we're all clear on what our intentions are and how we're showing up in the relationship and what the expectations are, right? Because it's important to do that. And it's still on topic. Like, your purpose is important. Now, I'm going through a rough spot, so y'all let me know if it gets a little choppy with what you can hear, but it usually doesn't last for long. So I'm talking, but I'm just letting y'all know it's beautiful where I am, but it definitely is a little bit of um, bad reception in this area. Okay, some people aren't capable. I'm trying to give more grace. You know what, Lori? I'm glad that you said that. Some people, I really wrestle with, do I believe if people really aren't capable, or is it that they're unwilling to learn something new? Um, I believe that I think about, like, in nature, you can pop off a branch from a tree and it can get dry and look dead. And you can water that thing and put it in the ground and it can come back to life, take root, start producing fruit, right? And I feel like it's the same thing with people. Yeah, I think I like that word unwilling, because I feel like I think that some people are unwilling. And I know why. Like, I just had a call with somebody I absolutely love and adore. And they were so angry and upset and just frustrated about how they tired of people taking advantage of them, and they always being a bigger person. And I know what that feels like, but I also know that taking the perspective of a victim is never gonna work for you. It may feel good, it may tickle your fancy for a little while, but then after that, it's like eating junk food. It's like, oh, it's a temporary fix, and now I'm still hungry. Now I'm gaining all these calories and my stomach might be hurting, right? So that's how I feel when we get on like a pity party, and I've had many of them, especially in the last couple years, just to be honest. So I know what that junk food binge, right, can feel like. And we just got to be willing to change. I've had a very tough situation going on in my life that has really brought me to my knees. I've been at my wits end. This is why I'm really talking about and how important you are and your purposes, because I've been so challenged. I've been at my wits end in some of these circumstances, and I'm like, God, like, I know you hear my prayers. Like, when are you gonna come through? When are you gonna make this happen? When are you gonna um show up on my behalf, answer my call, and I'm reminded where the scripture says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, right? But what if it don't look like a weapon, but it feels like one, right? And the thing that has really been very loud and clear to me is that I am going through this largely because this particular situation is helping to prune me. The Bible tells us that iron sharpeneth iron. This particular situation is sharpening me because I'm having to give this individual grace and these people grace, but in the midst of it, I'm having to give myself more grace, right? I'm realizing that there are decisions I have to make, there are shifts that have to happen, moves that have to take place, and I wouldn't have been willing to do it had I not been so uncomfortable in this situation and circumstance. So I just want to encourage you. Some of us are going through really hard times, or it's like something won't let up. We've just had this challenge for so long. And it's like, I want to encourage you today. I feel like God is trying to tell me and you, hey, I'm going to leave this here until you make a move. I'm going to leave this here until you're willing to do something different. Because when you do finally make that move, we're not coming back here. When we move out of this location, we're never coming back. So I'm going to allow you to get fed up with yourself and fed up with the circumstances, tired of going through the same thing over and over and over again. And I'm going to allow that to happen so that you could see how sovereign I am as God, but also that you can get sick and tired of yourself. Because you you who you are is so much greater than the level that you're living on. That's what the Lord been telling me. And I've been playing small to keep myself and other people comfortable because I know the level I'm playing on now make them uncomfortable. I can only imagine how they'll feel once I really press the gas and go full throttle, right? And so, what you say, Lori? That's it right there. That's it, right? And so I'm willing. I just said this morning. I woke up this morning. And I said, you know what, Lord, I'm ready. I said, Lord, yes, press the gas, girl. Yes, Rachel. I just woke up this morning and I said, yes, Lord, I'm ready. And what pressing the gas looks like for me, it might not look like that for you. For me, I define that as waking up every day on a mission to do the Lord, like do the work that I feel like I've been called to do. I really in my heart feel like I've been called to grow heart equity. Just the fact that the Lord gave that to me. And just what he's doing in my life as a result in the lives of those that I come into contact with. And I'm just really thankful. And I'm not trying to be, I woke up this morning and I felt like this, almost like this pitting feeling of like anxiousness, like, oh my gosh, I gotta get this and I got, it's like so many things I've been working on, trying to get things together, get things caught up, get things in order. And I just laid there, did my quiet time, my meditation, and I just was reminded that, God is with me. Like he is in the midst of every storm. He is the eye in the middle of the storm. And the other reminder that I'm ever being reminded of these last couple of days is no storm lasts forever. None. I don't care how long the storm is. It does not last forever, right? We know that we don't need that much time for a storm to cause a storm can come through for a very short amount of time and cause a lot of damage. You can have an injury that took you 3 seconds for that injury to happen, but it could take you 3 years to rehab from that injury. And that's life. But what we have to be willing to do is rehab. We have to be willing to go through recovery, and that's what the heart work is. That's when we talk about this. I talk about soul surgery, the divine heart transplant. If you haven't gotten my book, I encourage you to get it. Help Save Me from My Broken Heart, Your Journey to Living and Loving Again. You can get it on the website. I've also recorded it in audio form. If you don't want to read it, you can get the audio book. But essentially, um, we are recovering. We are recovering our hearts. We're recovering our souls. We're in recovery. We're in rehab. We all need it. This world has been harsh. But remember, greater is he that is in me, greater is he that is in you than he that's in the world. Okay, so like I said, I thank you guys so much for being here today. We have Heart Talk live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your calendars. I would love for you to join us there, right? And let's just continue to grow heart work together, right? Um, we don't want to be working on getting better internally and leaving others behind. I love you too, Lori. But what we do want to do is do our due diligence. That's my real estate word, right? Do our due diligence to making sure that um, our relationships are nurtured and cared for the way that they need to be. And that relationship starts with us, our relationship with self and our creator. Okay, that vertical relationship fuels those horizontal relationships, right? That's why I talk about personal wealth. That's you and God and what you have internally. And then relational wealth is how you spread out. And I believe that relationship is true wealth. And then that spills over into your financial wealth, growing in your purpose, because I believe that your purpose will bring you a profit if you're working it the way that the Lord has called you to do. Okay? Well, stick with me, baby. We going far. All right? I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all there. Have a good one.